It's time, folks. UFC's back. UFC 301, headlined by Alexander Pantoja taking on Steve Erceg. MMA Locker Room here, part of Pick Dawgz. And what are we going to be doing? I'm going to be going over every single fight and give you guys my best pick, my best prediction, let you guys know about my best dogs on the card, and hey, give you guys a parlay to see how we can cash and get you guys paid. But before we do that, how'd you guys do last week? Let me know in the comments below. Did your guys' dogs come through? Man, there was some good fights on there. And hey, just like we do it all the time, hey, we're going to be going over our best ways to get paid. So that's what we do here at Pick Dawgz. After you guys are done watching this, hit the like, hit the subscribe, and hit the comments for us. Let's go ahead and get it started, man. All right, a big pay-per-view card, right? But not a lot of big entertaining fights on there to live up to, so we're going to go ahead and get it started with the early prelims. First fight of the night, Alexander Costa taking on Kevin Boros. All right, man. So you got Alexander Costa open up a minus 145. Now the money's coming in on Boros, okay? Both these fighters, you don't got a lot of tape out there on them in the UFC. Costa, I think he's 1-1 in the UFC, and Boros is he just lost making his UFC debut against Joshua Van, but he was able to get the win on the Dana White Contender Series, showing that he can come through as a big underdog on here. I'll be honest, if he stays on the feet, Boros is going to be live. He's going to want to be the one that's going to have the more power in his hands. Costa fighting at home in his backyard. If he can mix in the takedowns, that's what Boros does struggle with. But on the feet, man, the power's going to be going in Boros' favor. I'm going to go with Costa just because I know that he's not going to try to stay on the feet because he's not the most dynamic striker. He's going to try to mix in the takedowns and wrestling and try to get him down to the ground. The pick's going to be Costa in here. But it's one of the fights to where I'm really not invested in too much at all. And it's one where I could see the dog winning in that one as well. Next fight taking place, Ishmael Bonfim, 19 wins, 4 losses, taking on Vince from Hell Pichel, 14 wins, 3 losses. All right, let's talk about the betting odds real quick. Bonfim's a minus 500 favorite, folks. Vince Pichel, the comeback on him, man, it's going to be a nice little plus money price tag out there for you. These guys were supposed to fight already earlier on, and I think Pichel got hurt. And instead of these guys fighting any other opponents, they just put it on hold, brought it back out to Brazil. Seems like it's a showcase fight for Bonfim. It seems like they want him to go out there and get the win against Vince Pichel. Vince Pichel, man, he's a gritty fighter. He's not going to quit. He's going to be there for the whole 15 minutes. We've seen the Bonfim brothers drop the ball before. I'm going to just be honest with you guys, man. I do not think this is a live parlay piece at these odds. If he was a minus 280, minus 300, okay, you could look at it, but hell no, minus 550. Vince from Hell Pichel could go out there and surprise some folks, man. I got an interview with him. I was able to interview him a while back ago. If you guys want to check that out, check out MMA Locker Room interviews Vince Pichel. But nothing like that or anything. I do think, he's on his way probably out of the fight game, 41 years old at this point in time. But at this point in time, I think a little bit of sprinkle on the dog is live here, man. Listen to me, folks. Prediction-wise, yes, Bonfim should win. Betting-wise, I'm going to put some money on Vince Pichel in this one, man. I wouldn't be surprised if he goes here and knocks him out and wins by KO in this one, man. So let's keep it going, man. Yeah, second fight on the card. Third fight on the card, man. Women's Delight. Deanne Barbosa, 6 wins, 2 losses, taking on Esther Kwick. 5-0 with 1 draw. All right, so let's talk about it. Barbosa opened up a minus 200 favorite on there. Now she's up to like a minus 210 on there. Made her UFC debut on the Contender Series. It's going to be her first fight in the UFC. But before that, she has the background, fighting in LFA. I've seen her a couple of times. Even before that, man, she has a win over Silva. Silva, yeah, the woman who just fought last week, who I got an interview with too as well. But yeah, she was able to get a win over her earlier on in her career. She's a jiu-jitsu specialist, trying to get you down to the ground and grapple. Ernesta, she's a striker, okay? She's coming to make her UFC debut as well on there. She made a UFC debut on a Contender Series. She was able to get a win in that fight. Her defense, is not there. She's there to be hit just as much as she can hit you in here. I think Barbosa is a solid parlay piece. I think she gets this one done in here. I'll be honest with you guys. I like Barbosa as one leg as a solid parlay piece. We're going to put her down for the one leg in the bulletproof parlay because we shooting. All right, next fight on the card. We got a good one too, man. Marcelo Rufi taking on Jamie Malarkey. All right. Rufi opened up a minus 160. Looked like money's coming in now. He's all the way up to a minus 190. He's going to be making his UFC debut in here. He's a guy that goes out there. Striking is his pedigree pretty much. He's like an orthodox striker too. Good power for the weight class as well. Jamie Malarkey's a guy to where no matter what's going on, how good he's fighting, that chin is always going to get tested. And when that chin gets hit, a lot of times he's not there, to finish the fight. In other words, he's chinny, folks. But he can mix in wrestling. He can mix in takedowns with you. I don't think that one's happening in this one, man. I like Rufi in this spot, man. I actually think he gets it done inside the distance. If you guys want to cut that money on the price tag and get some plus money, take him to win inside the distance. But the pick is definitely Rufi in that spot. I think he gets up to a minus 200 favorite before the fight starts. All right, next fight taking place in the lightweight division. Draw Care Close, 14 wins, 2 losses, 1 draw. Taking on Joaquin Silva, 13-5. Draw Care Close. I was able to see him fight live, a while back. Who would he fight? What was his name? Christian Giagos, I want to say. To me, it's the difference, man. When you see a fighter fight live, you can kind of see what they're good at and really how they're going to fight in person is a little bit than watching somebody fight on your TV. And he fights the same way and the same style, I want to say. He's overall a good fighter, good cardio, good striker. Can mix in the wrestling, can mix in the takedowns. Lacks finishability, but I'll say this, though, man. He does have the fight IQ to win, and that's all it takes sometimes out here. He's not going to wow you with anything out there, even though he was able to get the knockout win, I think, in his last fight out, or he was able to finish his last last opponent. Joaquin Silva on the other side, man. He's southpaw striker out there. I don't think he stands a real good chance of winning this fight in here. I think Draw Care Close is better than him at every single angle and spot. Yeah, I actually like Draw Care Close in here. I actually played a little bit of money on him when he opened up. I got him at a minus 155 in here. Think he should get this one done, and I think he wins by the decision. Next fight taking place in the featherweight division. This one's a good one, man. Gene Silva, 12-2, taking on William Gomes, 13-2. Gene Silva, coming from the camp of fighting nerds, okay? That's one of the bigger and better camps that you're going to hear some of these up-and-coming fighters coming from in Brazil, okay? Last fight out, man, he made his UFC debut, and he didn't disappoint. He finished his opponent real quick. He had the slowest walkout out, and then after he won, he just started barking at the microphone and barking at the camera. Definitely a guy I like and I like to get behind. But William Gomes is a guy I've been behind and betting and backing for a while now. 3-0 in the UFC, man. He's a slick striker out there. It's something about his fight style that I like. He's out there to hit you and not be hit. He got the type of style that people can't download and can't adapt to. Kind of like a Michael Venom Page. It's hard to figure out these guys, and it's hard to get your offense going against them. I like William Gomes in this spot. He's an underdog. Gene Silva opened up a minus 150. Money's coming in. He's down to a minus 135. I took a shot on the dog in this one. I think William Gomes could win by decision. If not, I think he can even get maybe a third round KO in this fight, man. When it comes down to it, Gene Silva, he's reckless when he is punching out there. And one thing about William Gomes is he's a technical fighter out there. He's trying to counter you. He's not the most exciting fighter, but when it comes to betting, man, he's one of the guys that I love to bet on, man, because he's fighting for my money. And I like the way he's throwing his kicks and stuff. He's kind of like a taekwondo karate style that you don't see a lot from, man. The pick is William Gomes. I think the dog is out the cage in that one, man. We're going with the dog. Next fight taking place. My Tepek Orlov, 12-1-1, taking on Elvis Burner, 16-3. Orlov opened up a minus 280. Now he's down to a minus 250. I like this guy a lot. Made money with him last time against Erceg. I've been following him for a while. He made his run on the LFA scene, and I've been waiting for him to get in the UFC. He's a wrestler who can strike and put you out. Made his UFC debut against Erceg at welterweight. This one's at a lightweight division now. I think he's going to be, you know, one of the guys to watch in this division. Elvis Burner, though, is a live dog as well in any fight, man. He pulls upsets out of anywhere. But he's going to be looking for you to get him down to the ground in here. My tech bet, Orlov, is diverse and good on the feet and on the ground. I like him a lot in this spot. I actually played him soon as he came out at minus 280. I wish I would have waited to minus 255. Yeah, man, I like him a lot in this spot. I actually think he gets it done. That could be a second leg for your parlay piece right there. But I like him in that spot. All right, next fight taking place. Women's division, the strawweight division. The last man, Lucindo, 15 wins, 5 losses, taking on Carolina Kwick. All right, last man, Lucindo's a minus 400 favorite in there. Made her UFC debut. I was able to watch it. And that was one of the better women fights that I've seen, you know, against Yasmin. No, who is it? Yogori. Yeah, Yasmin Yogori or something. She made her UFC debut against. And it was one of the fights to where nobody knew about neither of these girls, and they were both put onto the main card to make their UFC debut. And we were like, who is this and why are they on the main card on a pay-per-view? Oh, man, it did not a pay-per-view, but on the main card, the UFC San Diego card, Dominique Cruz versus Vera, it did disappoint. Man, them girls was in there throwing. It was one of those fights to I'll never forget it. Dana White waited outside the cage just to say and give his support to both the fighters, but he waited to talk to the loser. She ended up losing the fight, but he waited just to give her a hug and say, great fight. It was a great showing from her. Long story short, I think she gets it done in this one, man. I like her in this spot. Carolina, though, I got to give her credit. She's been turning around, man. She's on a great win streak right now. Training out there in Florida. But, oh, man, yeah, this is... The line is off, though, folks. Yeah, let me just talk on the betting odds a little bit. Yeah, this is one of the fight cards to where you're going to see big, heavy favorites in there. Some of these lines are warranted, some aren't. I just think this line is off. I think she should be a minus 280 favorite in there. But the pick is Lasmin Lucindo to get it done. All right, next fight taking place. It's going to be a good one on the prelims. Jack Shore, 17 wins and 1 loss, taking on Joanna Sembrito, 16-3-1. Joanna Sembrito is a minus 160 favorite in there. It's taking on Jack Shore in a fight to where, hey, man, Jack Shore only has 1 loss in the UFC. But coming into this weight class as the featherweight, he's not going to have the same strength that he had in the lower weight class. Joanna Sembrito, he's one of those guys to where he's going out there to finish you, and he's explosive in all ways, aspects. Packs power in his punch, and he's lethal with jiu-jitsu in here. I'm a big Jack Shore fan. I like him a lot. He only lost money with me once against Ricky Simone. But I think Joanna Sembrito is the more dangerous fighter in here. And if Jack Shore is able to get the takedowns, they're not scoring that as much no more. I think Joanna Sembrito gets it done at a minus 160 in here as well. All right, man. Before we go over the other fights on the card, let me know who you guys are betting on this week, man. Go ahead. Let me know who you guys are looking out on your card. All right, main card kicking off with the pay-per-view. And who do we got? Caio Borralho, 15 wins, 1 loss, taking on Paul Craig, 17 wins, 7 losses, 1 draw. Caio Borralho opened up a minus 480 favorite. Guess what, folks? All the way up to a minus 600. Why? Because he's 5-0 in the UFC, man. And I'll just be honest with you guys. That price tag is not warranted, okay? Paul Craig's a fighter to where he's 1-3 in his last couple of fights, but he's a guy to where he can always win by submission at any point and any time. He does it like all the time. One of the MMA bets that we always usually do is like, hey, no matter whoever he's fighting, when he's fighting, just bet Paul Craig by sub. Okay, that's probably the only way he's going to win. You know what I mean? And put some little money on the opposite side. And either way it go, you got plus money coming in. All right, so let's get down to it, man. Caio Borralho got the win in his last time out, was able to submit his opponent. Usually he's a fighter that goes to the distance, goes to the scorecards in there. Seen him talking during the media interview, and he said, hey, man, I want to win by knockout. In this one, he plans on knocking him out. He's going to be in his own backyard in Brazil. He's one of the guys fighting from the team Fight Nerds, and he's pretty much as advertised, man. I think he wins inside the distance in here. I don't know how. I think he can win by KO ground and pound. I don't think he submits Paul Craig. Sneaky play, though. Hear me out, man. I do see this fight going 10 minutes. I do like round 3 to start. Probably going to be some plus money price tag on there. And, all right, so hear me out. There we go. I think I got a game plan. I like Kyle Billo. Don't get me wrong. But I like round 3 to start. And I like Kylo Berhilo to win in round 3 or by decision. There's a way we could clean the whole slate on that one, okay? We hit the round 3 to start bet. Bam. Then we're in round 3, and he finishes them in round 3, or else he wins by decision. Those are my bets. Those are the ones that I'm going to be running with on there. But, yeah, man, I think Berhilo really gets it done in there, man. I'm a fan of him for real. I think he's as advertised. Let's keep it going, man. Next fight on the card, Michel Pereira taking on Ihor Pretoria. Michel Pereira is all the way up to a what now? Am I reading this right? Minus 800 on the books. Opened up at a minus 450. Ihor Pretoria took this fight on short notice and moved up to a different weight class, okay? I'll be honest, I'm a big fan of Pereira. I've been betting him and backing him for a while now. This is what, his second or third fight now in the middleweight division. He was able to win, knocking out his opponent last time out. I think that power is a lot better at this weight class. You don't got to worry about cutting weight as much. I'm going to take Pereira to win inside the distance in this one. Next fight on the card. Vitor Petrino, 11-0, taking on Anthony Smith, 37 wins, 19 losses. Another big favorite on the card. How big? Minus 600 on the books, man. Let me tell you about Petrino. Been seeing him now for a while now, man. Made some money with him in the UFC now. I think he's like 3-0 in the UFC as well. He's a big guy to where he can mix up everything. He's powerful. He can go for takedowns. And once he goes for takedowns, he can keep you down. He just don't know what to do. One of those guys, too, to where his last fight out, he won by decision against Tyson Pedro. And, hey, he just showed I could stay up there for 15 minutes with you, too, and go. Anthony Smith got knocked out bad last time out against Khalil Roundtree. Short, simple, and sweet. I like Petrino to win inside the distance. Prediction-wise, I'll say round 2. Next fight taking place on the card, man. Co-main event time. Who do we got? We got Jose Aldo, man. The legend is back. 31 wins and 8 losses. Taking on Jonathan Martinez, 19 wins and 4 losses. Jose Aldo was retired, folks. Came back. Why? Because they're fighting in his backyard. Sao Paulo, Brazil. He's the king of Sao Paulo. It's only right, right? But what is he coming back for? Let's speak about the odds first. Jonathan Martinez opened up at a minus 110. He's all the way up to a minus 155 out there. Jonathan Martinez is on a 6-fight win streak with the wins over Adrian Yanez and the likes of a lot of other good fighters. Just to go over them, that was the one that really stuck out to me because I was on the Yanez side, made money with Martinez, but I thought Adrian Yanez was going to be able to check those leg kicks, and nah, he wasn't able to, man. But Jose Aldo taking this fight. Why is he taking this fight? I think it's because it's the last fight in his contract. If he gets this fight done in the UFC, he can go fight wherever and however he wants. He's been doing some boxing ever since he's been retired. Just got accepted into the Hall of Fame game. So, to me, I don't think this is a fight to where he's coming back trying to say, yeah, man, let me put my name out there and see if I can make another title run or anything like that, or even get entertaining fights. Who knows? But I'm all up for it. I love some Jose Aldo fights, but I'm on the Jonathan Martinez side. I sniped as soon as it came out. Minus 110, got it early on. Yeah, so I like Jonathan Martinez in this spot. But I will tell you this. Jose Aldo's live. He's live, man. Because Jonathan Martinez, he gets hit. And when he gets hit, he doesn't deal with damage well. He kind of crumbles up sometimes. And Jose Aldo could dig to the body vicious. Yeah, real vicious. I don't think... man, they probably think fight going distance in this one. I think Jonathan Martinez could win late in the round. I also think if Jose Aldo wins, he can win by finishing him. Yeah. I like fight not to go the distance, and I play Jonathan Martinez in this one. Main event time, man. Main event, UFC 301. Alexander Pantoja, 27 wins, 5 losses, taking on Steve Erceg, 12 wins and 1 loss. For the people that's out there asking, who is Steve Erceg? Let me tell you, he's 3-0 in the UFC. Made his UFC debut against David Dvorak as a big underdog and was able to win. What happened right then? David Dvorak was ranked like number 12 or number 13. that catapulted him after making his UFC debut right into the top 12 to take David Dvorak's spot. So then what happens? Wins another fight. And then gets another fight. Last fight against Matt Schnell. Finished him real quick. Now he's fighting for the title, folks. He's a complete fighter, though, man. Alexander Pantoja, he's the man, though, man. I think he likes that belt on his shoulder. Was able to get the win against Brandon Royval in his last fight out. Was able to get the takedowns and get him down to the ground. That's what he's going to have to do in this path. He opened up a -210 on the books, down to a -185. I like Alexander Pantoja. He's been a cash cow for me his last couple of fights out. I think now that it's coming down to the -185, that's where I could look at it now, because at that -200, it's just something about Steve Erceg. He has it right now. He just knows how to win, and he's doing it in all shades of fashion out here, man. So look, man, Pantoja is going to have to mix in these takedowns and keep him down to the ground, backpack, Jansport him, sleeping bag style. If this stays on the feet, Steve Erceg could be the new champ, man. Like, he can surprise some folks out here. And Pantoja, he gets hit a lot, but once he gets hit, he knows what to do, and he clinches to you and gets you down to the ground usually, though, man. But, man, the fight's 5 rounds. Can Pantoja keep him down for 5 rounds? And then not tire out in his backyard? Can he submit him? Do we like fighting out to go the distance in there? I don't know, man. It's a tricky spot. And it's a tricky spot to where I'm just not sold on Pantoja still. At this my bad. It's not that I'm not sold on Pantoja. I'm definitely sold on him. It's just that the opponent, Steve Erceg, man, in these divisions, all it takes is a run like this to get your name known. And he's doing it, man. But the pick is Pantoja in this one. But if you guys, man, just don't go overboard with the pick and think that there's no way that this guy that you guys never heard of named Steve Erceg can't win, because he can. This is one to where I actually think, you know, there's a path for the dog, you know. But my pick is Alexander Pantoja. I gotta see if I'm gonna be betting it, man, because it's one of those things. He's been making money for me. If it can keep coming down a little bit, I think I am. As a matter of fact, I think I am, man. I think I'm going to have to make a play on it. Why? If it gets down to a certain number that I can bet on with Pantoja, I'm going to be playing Pantoja. Right now, it's around like, what, -185, 190. If we see that -170, I'm hopping on, okay? All right, now look, man, my bulletproof parlay for you guys to get paid. I'm going to go ahead and give it out right now. I like Barbosa in there, and I like Orlov. My best dog on the card, man, I like William Gomes in there. I think he could surprise some people in here. My best play to get you paid, I'm going to take Michel Pierre to win inside the distance. And then, my other best play to get you paid, I'm going to take Vitor Petrino wins inside the distance as well. All right, man. MMA Locker Room here, a part of Pick Dawgz. Smash that like button. Hit me up in the comments. Let me know what you guys are betting on today. And hey, see you guys same time next week. UFC bet with me.